Hello, friends. Welcome to another reading in the book of Genesis. We are in Genesis chapter 18. All right, and then we're going to be skipping over to chapter 21, partway through this. So we're starting in chapter 18. So grab your Bible, read along with me, and then hit pause when you need to find the new place. All right, chapter 18, the three visitors. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance to the tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw three men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground. He said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let the little water be brought, and then you may all wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you something to eat so you can be refreshed and then go on your way. Now that you have come to your servant." "Very well," they answered. "Do as you say." So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. "Quick," he said, get three seahs of the finest flour and knead it and bake some bread." Then he ran to the herd and selected a choice tender calf and gave it to a servant who hurried to prepare it. He then brought some curds and milk and the calf that had been prepared and set them before them. While they ate, he stood near them under a tree. "Where's your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "There in the tent," he said. Then one of them said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah your wife will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent, which was behind them. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, "After I am worn out and my Lord is old, I will now have this pleasure." Then the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Will I really have a child now that I'm old?' Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, "I did not laugh." But he said, "Yes, you did laugh." All right. We are going to skip on over now to chapter 21, 1 through 7. All right. So go ahead and pause so that you have a chance to find your place in your Bible. And when you do, you can hit play again. All right. The birth of Isaac, chapter 21. And now the Lord was gracious to Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, the very time God had promised him. Abraham gave him the name Isaac to the son Sarah bore him. When his son Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him as God commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Sarah said, "God has brought me laughter, and everyone who hears about this will laugh with me." And she added, "Who would have said to Abraham and Sarah that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age." All right. Take a look back through that. Think about everything that had happened in this reading. Think about what was happening at the time this was written. Think about the context. Think about the observations. What do you see? Treats without the vowels. The themes of the passage, repeating words or ideas, truths about God, and then something striking that stood out to you. Quite a few things in this passage. Message, what is God trying to say? Put on your specs to take a closer look. Is there a sin to confess? Is there a promise to claim? Is there an example to follow by the people that in this chapter that you had read about? Is there a command to obey? Did God give a command? And is there a statement about God? Something you know now to be true after reading this passage. And then meditate on those things, that second M in comma, and then A, application. How are you going to apply it to your life? All right. Thanks, friends. We'll see you tomorrow.